Welcome back. Now, of late, Absa has been subject to a number of leadership changes. The group says that it recognizes the need for institutional change to shape new narratives. In the latest shift, Absa Chair Sello Moloko will be stepping down in July after just 3 years in the role and subject to regulatory approval. Former interim CEO René van Wyk, who currently sits on the company's board, will succeed him. René joins us now. René, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. Just as we get started, take me through your reading on the timing of this move, considering that Absa is in a critical position where it's really restructuring, it's really transitioning. We've seen it from, an operational point of view where we are seeing a strategy update when it comes to your retail business. We've also seen it from a leadership standpoint.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Atulang. I mean, no change is always pleasant, but it's life. I mean, I fully understand where Sello is coming from and the demands that it's put on him and his time. And yeah, when is the right time? So and it's only him that can make that decision, and we as a board will have to deal with it. So we don't like change. I mean, nobody likes change. You like things to be going smoothly every day. But we've got a very good board and we can deal with these issues, and it's business as usual for us. Mm-hmm. But yes, I know the narrative out there is another change, but yeah, it's unfortunate. But we have to deal with it, and as I said, I respect Sello's decision.
And touching on that narrative, the narrative about, another change coming through at Absa, this of course also hitting your reputation yet again. Talk to me about restoring confidence in the company. We all know what happened last year with former CEO Ari Rautenbach when he stepped down, and while it is known he was taking early retirement, media reports suggested that there were issues around his management style, and that of course hitting the reputation.
Yeah, look, I think nothing going into the public domain that hits our reputation is useful for the organisation, and we're painfully aware of that. But at the same time, we have to run with the company, and do what we have to do and do it to the best of our ability. The best way of getting our reputation out of the press is to run the company, make it profitable. And produce the results that will satisfy shareholders, and also to have a stable management in place. And I believe that with the new CEO coming in, we will achieve that. And as I said, on the board, we've got a succession plan in place, and following Sello's decision to step down, we followed that succession plan. And from a board point of view, there's no chaos or anything like that. It's business as usual. But I accept that from outside view, it may seem, another change, and I'm painfully aware of that.
And I mean, from someone that's been at Absa for quite some time, René, in a board role as well as a management role, talk to me about how you then go about addressing these concerns around leadership at Absa. I know you are making changes within the group and there is some stability coming through, but how do you then address these concerns from the outside?
Look, Atulang, I mean, it is almost impossible for us to try and convince everybody else, that's got an opinion on Absa in the public domain. It is impossible. I mean, we can put out many statements, but it is at the end of the day, results not only in financial terms, but in terms of a stable management that will speak for itself.
And talking about stable management, you did mention the new CEO that will be coming through, Kenny Fihla. When you were going through the process of selecting a new CEO, both internal and external candidates were considered. Would you say that an external pick somewhat speaks to maybe even a failure when it comes to succession planning, especially when it comes to, grooming internal employees?
Look, I think it's a good point. I mean, I can't deny that's what we followed when we appointed the previous CEO. We followed an internal selection, but not that we never went outside. We always, as a principle, whenever we make appointments to the board and executive management or executive directors, always look outside as well. I think that's standard in the corporate world, that you not only look inward but also outward, and fresh blood also brings in advantages. But succession planning is critical for us as well, and our preferred route is obviously to go with our internal candidate that we know. But we are happy with the external candidate we got in Kenny. And so now we look forward to, a period of stable management.
And talk to me about transformation at the bank, René. This is another issue the bank has come under fire for. How have you been addressing this on board level, executive level? We are seeing, the new CEO stepping in. And how is it also being considered when it comes to Absa's succession planning?
Well, transformation is important. I mean, I don't want to fob it off in any way whatsoever, but if you look at our stats, and they've been published, it is well known to the public. We are a very transformed company. Our stats speak for that. Our ExCo members speak to that. And our board speak to that, not only just in terms of race, but also in gender. But at the end of the day, we always have to select the best candidate. And we follow a succession plan where we have people that we nominate or identify that can possibly succeed. And come at the moment, come at the time, So transformation is important. Let me just put it bluntly, it is. And we will follow that. But at the time when we have to make a decision, we have to select the candidate that's available and that we believe will do the job.
And you talk about selecting the candidate that's available and available to do the job, and we have Kenny coming into that position soon. Talk to me about the experience that Kenny brings to the table, and how that will feed into some of Absa's strategic initiatives, considering that there have been some changes in strategy that have been announced at the last set of results.
Well, I think, firstly, Kenny is well respected in the banking industry, and his career at Standard Bank speaks for itself. And by virtue of the fact that he is, was a very senior person at Standard Bank, and Standard Bank has got a very similar model as ours in terms of retail and presence in African countries. And so that fits in perfectly with us. We want to reposition our retail and as well as reap the benefits of our African footprint through the old Barclays companies. And so I think he brings a wealth of experience in that space, and that we will benefit from that hugely. And maybe there's some other areas in Africa where we are not, that will be explored. So no, I think it's just opportunity.
All right, René, thanks so much for your time and just sharing those insights. That was René van Wyk, Chair Designate of Absa.